Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super New10doh, and I got a new shirt. But today, I have a review for you guys today. And it's going to be on SpiderMan Far From Home. So, I guess a bit of my thoughts on the MCU SpiderMan up until this point for a bit of context. I don't like him. I really don't. And it's not even a case of, like, oh, I'm watching this, but it's like, oh, I didn't like him from the start, so therefore, actually, in Homecoming, I thought he was really, really good. My problem isn't with Tom Holland. Tom Holland is really, really good for what he is given. My problem is more so the writing and the story for this version of Spider-Man. And, pretty much from Homecoming onwards, I hate the character. So, yeah, to kind of give you guys a bit of a spoiler-free plot synopsis, Peter and his class are going on a science field trip through Venice, Italy. And I have to put science field trip because we never once see them doing anything sciencey on this trip. We never once see them doing anything sciencey on this trip. So it just kind of comes off as, why don't you just say that what this really fucking is, And Peter and friends go to Italy where super shenanigans start happening with elementals attacking. The water elemental and fire elemental. And enter Mysterio, who is a superhero, except obviously not with anyone with 2 brain cells. And Peter has to stop Mysterio from doing bad things, all while trying to confess his love for Michelle Jane, or whatever the fuck her name is. So, yeah, that's the spoiler-free plot synopsis. I'm going to keep the spoiler-free stuff kind of short. I liked the animation. The actors were fine for the most part. I thought that the actor for Happy could have used another take in one of his lines later in the movie. I felt like the characters were funny-ish. No, not even that. They worked well off each other, but I wouldn't call most of the movie even funny. Just... It's another Marvel movie. It's another Marvel movie. If you liked Homecoming, you'll like this probably, but that's pretty much all I gotta say, spoiler free. So I personally don't like this. In my eyes, this is the second worst Spider-Man movie. The worst being Amazing Spider-Man 2. But even Amazing Spider-Man 2 was still somewhat enjoyable to watch, at least for me, But, goddamn, I did not like this movie at all. So, I'm going to get into spoiler stuff in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. Okay, so the first 8 minutes of this movie is a complete what the fuck is going on here. Just within the first 8 minutes, let's see, it's established that the blip, as the snap is called, conveniently erased Peter and everyone associated with him, everyone in his life, pretty much, just so, if Spider-Man is gone and so is Peter, will we find out who Spider-Man is? Even though that's a complete fuck... Why? Why? What does it matter? Like, okay, you could just say, oh, they got erased too. Half the fucking population of the goddamn universe got... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. So, that's one problem right off the bat. Because, conveniently, everybody just... Ugh. So, another thing that is a problem for me is, suddenly, out of nowhere... Peter has feelings for Michelle Jane. And I know she is referred to multiple times in this movie as MJ, but I refuse to call her MJ because of the fact that she is not Mary Jane. She is not Mary Jane Watson. It's very clear she is not that character. So... yeah, he suddenly has feelings for Michelle Jane just out of nowhere. There's no build up to this. There's no anything. Even though, like, this movie takes place, like, what, a few weeks after Endgame. So, you know, like, yeah. Also, very confusingly, because at the end of this movie, Peter's like, you know, I've kept my secret identity on lockdown for a couple of years. You haven't been Spider-Man for years. You really fucking haven't. Relative to you, it's been maybe 1 year. Not years. What is going on? Okay, so that's another thing. But the he suddenly has feelings for Michelle Jane, never explained, just a device to move the plot forward. Peter also is, or Aunt May is completely okay with him being Spider-Man, is actually kind of supportive of it, which, again, comes completely out of nowhere because of, you know, at the end credit scene of Homecoming was he gets his suit back, and he suits up and he takes his mask off, and Aunt May is in the doorway and is like, what the fuck? And it just cuts to black. Okay, so we're not gonna just kind of cover the story of the movie. We're not gonna cover that story of Aunt May coming to terms with her nephew being a superhero, risking his fucking life and whatever. We're not gonna come to terms with any of that shit. No? Okay. Another thing is I have to talk about this. The relationship between Peter and Tony it's not creepy, but it is really fucking stupid, and it reminds me a lot of the Vegeta Kaba thing from Dragon Ball Super. And that sounds really stupid, but let me explain why it reminds me a lot of it. Both characters, in both situations, these set of characters don't interact with each other for very long, and yet they're able to just build up a relationship with each other super fucking quickly. Tony has pretty much spent like 2 hours with this kid, and already he has a satellite in space that has weaponized drones set to kill people and do whatever else Peter fucking wants him to do. And he gives him the key, which is like a pair of glasses that has its own another onboard AI, and gives them to Peter. And Tony, in the note, calls him the next Tony Stark. Yeah, you've spent like 2 hours with this kid, you fucking moron. How about you give it to your goddamn daughter? Huh? Or how about you give them to your wife to hold on for your daughter, so, you know, when she's old enough she can fucking deal with it? Does that not seem like a better option? At all? But no, we're just gonna give him to this 14-year-old kid that he spent 2 hours with. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, and furthermore, no. So, I didn't like the Mysterio character at all. Like, I kind of liked him as a hero, and I kind of wish they just kind of rolled with him being a hero and whatever. Like, why exactly does there need to be a twist villain in your fucking superhero movie? Oh my god, I'm so sick of these. I am so sick of twist villains. Really, it just, in general, I'm so sick of them. Just, oh my god. And, you know, it's a twist that everyone can see coming, because if you have even a small fraction of knowledge on Mysterio, you would know that he is a fucking supervillain. Just, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Why? Wouldn't it honestly opens up more possibilities if he really was a superhero from some other fucking universe. It opens up more possibilities. You know, like, this movie did exactly what Dragon Ball Super does, in that, okay, we're gonna tease you with things that could be, that could lead to bigger possibilities, and then, like, we'll let you look just through the crack of the door, and then we're gonna come in and slam the door shut and tell you, no, you do not look in that door. You look in that door again, and I fucking kill you. Oh my god. So, the elementals were cool, even though they were fake. They were cool. They didn't talk at all, but, you know, their designs were pretty alright. I didn't notice many, like, plot holes, so to speak. But, yeah. And, okay. Peter making his, the kind of message of this movie is, Peter is not Tony. And he should stop trying to be Tony. But that was one of the messages that he learned in the last goddamn movie. Just, oh my fucking god. Okay, so for those who haven't seen Homecoming, there are 3 messages in that fucking movie. And, like, well, messages. They're kind of like themes, really. One of them is Peter realizing that he doesn't need the suit to be Spider-Man. Even though he spent 6 months without this fucking suit, and he should already know that he doesn't need that suit to be Spider-Man. Another thing is that he, throughout the whole fucking movie, is comparing himself to Tony Stark. And so another kind of lesson that kind of coincides with the fact that he doesn't need that suit to be Spider-Man is Peter is Peter. He's not fucking Tony Stark. And he needs to stop pretending to be, and he needs to stop trying to be Stark. Hold on. So, yeah, those were some of the themes. Just yeah. And so Peter makes his own suit. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He takes like an Iron Man suit generator creator thingy, brings up the specs for his Stark Tech Spidey suit, and pretty much like, oh, I want this ability, I want this, let's make this stronger, let's throw away that, and whatever. All while doing this to the theme of one of the previous Iron Man movies. Like, Happy puts on music from one of the previous Iron Man movies. He puts on, I think it was Black Sabbath, I think is the band. I forgot the song, really. And, by the way, wonderful job on the Miles Morales fucking suit. Yeah, that nobody noticed that. Nobody noticed the Miles Morales suit or the oh my god, the stealth monkey suit. Also, I haven't even talked about one of the things that pisses me off the most. And it's just the Peter tingle. In this movie, they finally acknowledge the spider sense. But they don't call it the spider sense. They call it the Peter tingle. Why? Why? Just fucking why? You know what? Peter calls it a sixth sense at one point in the movie. Why don't you just call it the sixth fucking sense if you want to call it something different? Peter tingle. And for those who, like, I get it, it's just a name. I get it. It's just a name. It's just a different name for the spider sense. They'll probably call it the spider sense sometime in the future. Oh, wait, that's right. He's no longer in the MCU because of lawsuits. But, if he was still in the MCU, they would probably call it the spider sense at some point in the future. Okay. Alright. It's just a name. It's just like a little temporary name, right? Okay. Anybody else realize how dumb the name Peter Tingle is? Like, let's do like a little classic SpiderMan role play here for just a moment, for just a teensy little second. Oh no, Green Goblin is coming. I don't see him, but I can sense him with my Peter Tingle. My Peter Tingle is tingling. Just, oh my fucking god. Oh yeah, and the big what the fuck thing is Peter is Quentin Beck, Mysterio, makes a false recording report thing, sends it into the Daily Bugle, and J. Jonah Jameson, played again by the guy who played him in the Sam Raimi trilogy. I'm blanking out his name at the moment. I'm sorry. He is like, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And it ends on another, what the fuck? Yeah. Bravo. Except that they established in this movie that anyone can figure out that Peter is Spider-Man if they actually just look at him. Because, he's not doing a very good job of keeping his goddamn secret. One of the things that pissed me off in Homecoming was one of the earliest fucking scenes where he's making the web fluid in class when multiple people are looking at him. Oh yeah, and after class ends, he decides to spider jump off the freaking balcony when in plain view of the goddamn windows, when multiple people could be looking out the windows being like, huh? Oh, Peter, he's a white boy who can jump really good. And he does the same pose as that web-slinging hero, SpiderMan. I wonder if he's fucking SpiderMan! Look, I get it. Like, Peter Parker keeping his identity a secret is kind of stupid. It is inherently stupid that nobody can figure it out. It's like a Clark Kent Superman situation. But that's why, usually, when you make this type of character, you make it, like the Sam Raimi trilogy, where it's kind of campy, like a Power Rangers special. So you're not supposed to be taking shit seriously. We're in the goddamn MCU. He is in a school with smart people. A bunch of geniuses, young geniuses, that should be able to figure out his identity super fucking easily. Oh, yeah, and that reminds me. Why is he in a school filled with super geniuses again? Because none of these douchebags act like they're super smart. Ever. Michelle Jane never does anything that indicates that she is highly intelligent. Neither does Flash, or Ned, or any of the other douchebags in that school. Peter has it sometimes. His intelligence is very inconsistent because sometimes he's really smart, sometimes he's really goddamn stupid. Hi, to interrupt myself, there's one other problem with the movie that I forgot to mention, and it's that really there's a point in the movie that Peter sees a zombified version of Iron Man, and this is supposed to kind of show that Peter feels guilty for Iron Man dying because, like, it's the Uncle Ben moment, really. Tony is kind of his Uncle Ben, as the way that they kind of built it up. The problem with this is that they don't have that type of relationship, and there's nothing that Peter could have done. See, the reason why Uncle Ben haunts Peter so much is because Peter could have prevented his death. Peter, in part, caused Uncle Ben to die. See, he let the bad guy get away. The bad guy goes and kills Uncle Ben. This is, in Peter's mind, his fault. And to some extent, it is his fault. But in terms of Iron Man's death, he has no part in that. At all. Whatsoever. So, yeah, that whole sequence, one of the ones that people drool over from what I've seen in reviews, no. It looks cool. I'll give it that. It looks cool. But it's a terrible scene. So, on with my little ranting here. Sorry to interrupt myself. Oh my god. So, also, where exactly is the AI from the Homecoming movie? At multiple points in this movie, he is, for one really long sequence, he's in the Homecoming suit. And during the early portions of the movie, he is in the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War and Endgame. What happened to the onboard AI? What happened to it? I mean, like, it was such a big part of Homecoming. You'd think they would give some explanation as to where the fuck it went. Just nothing? No? Huh? Okay, sure. It's not like it was a big part of Homecoming or anything. No explanation. That's very interesting. So, yeah, it's pretty freaking obvious that I did not enjoy this movie at all. So, yeah. And to talk a little bit about the Spider-Man is out of the MCU thing, I am glad. I'm glad he is out of the MCU. Because aside from the first movie he appeared in Civil War, he has been nothing but a Hulk-sized kick in the dick. Because of how much they change, how much that they are inconsistent with this goddamn character, and all this other shit that I have brought up today. I am glad he is out of the MCU. And another thing is just, oh my, I don't know. I wish I could say I am excited for what the MCU has in the future, but after Endgame, I'm kind of MCU'd out, and I'm kind of just done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not even like, oh, Endgame was terrible or whatever. I'm gonna be having a new review for that when the movie comes out digitally and whatnot. So, because like my old review was when the movie came out, I was swept up in the hype, and I was drunk off my ass during the review. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Spider-Man Far From Home, in my recommendation for you guys is to stay far away from it. I don't care if that joke was stupid and obvious. A lot of the jokes in this movie were stupid and obvious. Goodbye.